Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Spring Championship. This is Babel, and we're talking about the Open Finals here. One more team is going to walk away today with about 2.5 thousand Singapore dollars, as well as the second seed into the Southeast Asia Regionals coming out of Singapore. The first seed, of course, already being decided by the Pro League champions, Resurgence. So today we got with us here some very exciting teams like Relics, as well as Sage Gaming, the favorites to win this entire Open Finals here today. Of course, without further ado, we're bringing the first game right now between Team Casual as well as Power of Belief. Both of these teams have got a bit of a history going on, revolving around POSB, Power of Belief, and a team that was made up of entirely QM friends, breaking apart into two different sections. Here, the ex-captain, Zheng formed a new team, and it's still going to call POB. The old members have moved on into a new team name called Team Casual, and anything but casual, I promise you that. So now we are waiting for the draft, but I'm getting word that the draft is already completed. Seems like the first game is going to be played at Tomb of the Spider Queen. It's a best of 3 with Team Casual on the left side, Power of Belief on the right side. First of all, guys, don't get too excited that Li Ming's actually gone through the draft. Pretty sure that that's only because she has been kind of balanced right now. Lots of nerfs hit her. No more Eyes of Johan. Nothing of that sort. You even have Astral Presence getting nerfed already down to just about quarter of a level of what it used to be, about 50%. Now it's only 25%. And there's also the fact that Telrasha has been nerfed down to half of its efficiency as before. So seeing Li Ming these days doesn't really mean anything. Rhaegar, Jaina, Muradin, Sonia, Tirana going to finish up here for POB. And for TC on the side, for the blue team, we do have Joanna, Feldstedt, Malfirin, and Leoric. Right, so first of all, shout outs to sponsors for this tournament. Razer, they give us some really awesome support for this entire Spring Championship. And we're all just very excited to have them on board with us here for Spring. It's a great circuit so far, and we had a lot of qualifiers all over Southeast Asia. The first final is actually going to happen right now. This is the Singapore Open Finals, in which we're going to decide the second team that's going to join up with Resurgence. That's going to play on the 5th to 6th of March for the SEA Regionals. Tomorrow, we're actually going to cover Malaysia. So every single weekend day, you can expect Saturday and Sundays to be filled with action from Southeast Asia. We're doing Singapore, Malaysia, and then Philippines and Thailand. That's going to be next Saturday and Sunday for Philippines and Thailand. Today, we're all Singapore, my home country. Lots of exciting, you could say, matches today, because some will say the best teams in Southeast Asia reside in Singapore. So we'll see how this is going to really translate out at the regionals, but definitely you can expect some of the closer games here today. So I'll walk you through all of the team history as the games unfold. Right now, you're witnessing a game where two of these players, you'd say from both of these teams, had a bit of a beef with each other, just a little bit. POB's captain, Zheng, still stuck himself with the brand. Is the last remaining member of the existing POB lineup. Previously, all of his ex-teammates, they've moved over to Team Casual. A bit of a fallout, if you will, but it doesn't matter because we're all friends at the end of the day. And, of course, we're also looking at the better team progressing on to meet off against Sage. If we can pull out the brackets, we will do that, but I do believe that the game is ready. So whenever they're ready, we go into this one. By the way, guys, it is on Tomb of the Spider Queen, not Sky Temple. We're going to get that fixed anytime soon. Thank you for tuning in, by the way. Really appreciate to have your company here today. This is just a sunny Saturday in Singapore with really a lot of action going on. If you are in a country, swing by down to Enzo. That's where we are. We're having a really, really interesting day of HOTS going on here in this cyber cafe. But Power of Belief against Team Casual, favorites to win this matchup would say that it will be POB by a little bit. They are the team that didn't really have any showing ever since this entire tournament began, and with the new roster at play as well. So the brackets for today, we have Relics with a free bye because they're seeded. Same goes for Sage Gaming. They're already moving on to the semifinals of the upper bracket. For Murloc Arcanum, they're going to play off against Elysium in the background, and we're showing you Team Casual versus Power of Belief right at the bottom of the brackets. We're just fixing the look of this entire bracket right here. There we go, a lot better. TC stands for Team Casual up against POB on the bottom side of the bracket. MA versus Elysium, that's going to happen on the side. You hear the countdown, and I think we're going into game number 1. First game of the day, man. Very excited to see Liming getting picked up here. It is still a very tall order to play Liming these days, because Liming, as many would say, man, very, very high skill cap required to land those magic missiles. You used to have As of Johan to really help it out, but right now you don't have that, so the Arcane Op is going to probably just go out. But still have a lot of advantage if you do apply those skills behind a Fog of War, because that's where your enemy is not going to expect those skills, and that's where those skills will hit. Still very, very deadly, very efficient and effective if you have the ability to pull it up from that angle. I actually think that we have a problem here with the overlay. So we may actually have to reconnect, unfortunately, guys. We're going to try and switch the screen off so that you don't have to go through this pain. But yep, don't be too worried about it. We'll fix it in just a jiffy. Should be okay. But that's that, man, guys. We're going to fix it for you guys. POB up against TC, unfortunately having a bit of an overlay issue. I think it's a pretty outdated version. So once we get this sorted out, we'll be able to bring back the game. If you ask me in terms of composition, would definitely like to see how Rhaegar Torana is going to pull this one out. Would love to see... I would love to see Bloodlust. I think Bloodlust is such an awesome pickup. But it's going to be up to teams if we can actually have the opportunity to see that today. So that part would be interesting to see, at least. Right, guys, so we are having a bit of an update on the technical issue. Seems like the ops UI is not correctly set. That's because I think there was a patch that just hit about a few days ago. Not so sure if this is going to load up properly, but it should. If not, we may actually ask for a remake. We'll see how that's going to work out. Okay. So don't worry, guys. We're getting this fixed. And as we try and get the game going right here, we're going to do our best to update you, of course, if we can get this fixed. It's a very painful thing to realize that we don't have the ability to bring you the game. Right, we're actually going to do a remake. So that's probably going to fix this. Right. For all of you guys who are tuning in, thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate to have your company here. I understand it's actually pretty early in NA, is it? I think 8 p.m. on the West Coast and about 12 a.m. on the East Coast. You guys have such a big country that you span across 4-hour time zone. It's really, really interesting to see that. Meanwhile, all of you guys from Europe, it should be just nice about 4 a.m. in the morning right now. Is that? No, wait, 5 a.m. in the morning. And we'll see how this is going to fix out, guys. But anyway, thank you for tuning in here. This is the Singapore Open Finals. And We can talk about a lot of stuff while this is getting fixed, but primarily, I'm actually focused on helping the producers solve this issue. So what happened was we don't have the correct UI, and we're now going to a string of fatal errors. So unfortunately, you have to remake the game if you want to bring this game on stream because you cannot change the UI halfway. The game will just not load up. Yeah. So it has to be a remake. Very unfortunate turn of events here. Right. In the meantime, let's see if we can talk about the draft. So I recall that we got Murden, Turanda, Rhaegar on one side, up against Liming on the other. And Liming has just got so much of a changes to her. She used to be on SS tier, like super godlike. You really want to ban out Liming if you are going in second ban. But that has changed a lot, and I think that there's a lot of other heroes that may be doing a lot more work than Liming in the SEA scene. Heroes like Jaina and Keothas, they do so much more because players are just a lot more comfortable and confident with those heroes compared to Liming, where Liming is just, you know, a bit up in the air right now. Don't really have enough crowd control. Does have one escape mechanic in the form of teleport that I think so far is the best escape mechanic this game has to offer because of the fact that you don't have any indication of where she is going to run towards. It's not like Vault, you know, where it's kind of obvious where Vala's going to go after a while. You can tell. Teleport don't have that the animation flaw, so that's the good thing about having teleport on your side. Also, Calamity, there's a little bit of a nice follow-up damage at level 7. Also gives her even more of a beefcake shield at level 16 with the diamond skin. So those are some really, really important talents. And so far, the build for Liming competitively will have to include those teleport. And that's going to be really important to take note. There's been a huge discussion. Previously, unprecedented discussion was that teams will have to pick up Eso Johan. It's like 100% you have to go for Eso Johan. But right now, it seems like a triumvirate, I think. Is that what it's called? I don't know how to pronounce that, but looks like that is the next talent to go for, where increased range gives you more damage. Or reduction of cooldown, something along those lines. Will be interesting to see how Liming plays out in this game. Between TC. TC's lineup is one of the more exciting ones today. So we are still fixing the issue right now. And just a bit of an update, the game has finally completed the remake. So once we have information, we will be able to bring it to you. But right now, I'm just waiting to see which UIs work. That's all. All right. So it is actually Murden, Jaina, Turanda, Rhaegar, Sonya. So Sonya does have the right-click ability, but don't really expect Sonya to go in and just do those right-click damage straight out. I don't think that's going to work out. May have actually found a set of UI that actually work, so we're going to have this sorted out. Okay, so once I get the lobby invite, we'll bring it a game. Tomb of the Spider Queen. I'm excited. Why? Because this is a very roam-centric kind of a lineup. I am expecting it to be a lot of damage coming up from both sides. If you look at the draft just now, you would you would be able to tell that it is up against, it's more of like a bit of a right-click damage up against burst-centric orientation coming from that side. There is the Jaina to worry about, but that you don't have to think too much of it because there's the Sonya in front that probably does a lot more work than Jaina combined. There is the Rhaegar as well as Tyrande follow-up. Muradin's there to land a good stun as well. Rotations-wise, we look at POB's lineup, it looks to be very, very convincing. On the other side, though, for Team Casual, they do have Li Ming. And that is the unknown factor right now. I don't think Li Ming has the ability to do the insane amount of damage like he used to, which I think is about 55,000 damage in about a 20 to 30 minutes, no, 20 minutes game, I think. That's fair to expect coming up from Li Ming. But these days, she has been nerfed down to about 38 to 40-ish kind of a range for damage, on hero damage. That's what I meant. So primarily, it's because magic missiles are not connecting as much as they should, and you don't have a good setup for all your skills anymore. You don't have that. You don't have that increased mana regeneration that is really absurd because that was insane. That's a lot of spells that Li Ming can cough out just very much early on in the game. So that's crazy. Now what we're expecting is a lot more balanced Li Ming going up against Jaina in this game, which Jaina does still provide a lot of flank, but you know, Li Ming does have teleport, so if you can outplay your opponent, Li Ming is going to be that one hero in which you can comfortably do so. So once we're ready, we'll bring you the game. Apologies for the delay once again, but guys, if it's good, it's worth waiting for. And we're going to talk a little bit about how this whole tournament is going to pan out. It's a best of 3 upper bracket that we're in right now. This is only the first round, so don't worry, you haven't missed a single thing except for one remake. That's about it. We do have TC up against POB that's going to line up right now. And on the other side, though, we have got Murloc Arcanum playing off against Elysium in the background. Very interesting match. But personally, would root for Team Casual versus POB any day because there's a lot more storyline here. Basically, the captain continued the brand, Power of Belief. Everyone else who used to be on that team is now currently on Team Casual. Some of them stopped playing the game completely, took a bit of a break. And they also recruited the likes of Zen and Maki in. So Sheen, Zest, and Mr. Deja Vu, they are the lineup. They're part of the lineup that had an enormous amount of success in December's Nexus Championship. Like, they were top 3 in Singapore. And Jermaine came back to the roster. Things shaped up a little bit differently than expected. POB didn't have a good performance going into the Pro League. They didn't manage to get a single point. But now going to the Open Finals, they should be more or less ready. Guys, we're loaded up into the game. We'll change the overlay once we get in. But Tomb of the Spider Queen, it is game number 1. And this is Babel. Thank you guys for tuning in. We got a lot of action today. Very excited to crown my home country's 2nd team going to the SEA Regionals. And right off the bat, we're looking at a lineup coming out of the left team, which is on the left team, but on the blue team. We got Power of Belief, Jermaine playing as Sonya. We also got Reminiscence playing quickly as the Jaina. Jarvis onto the Muradin. Kevin will be playing as the Tyrande last but not least Crusade onto the Rhaegar. On the red team, we have got Team Casual. And Mr. Deja Vu is going to be playing as the Feldstead. Zen on to Joanna. Maki playing as the Malfurion. We also got Lyric being played by Shin. Last but not least, Li Ming playing as the... Rather, Zazan playing as Li Ming. Lost my word right there. Okay, I do understand that the overlay is slightly off. And we're going to try and remove that so it doesn't get in the way. But for now, what we can expect to see is a bit of a rotation coming out from POB already. And POB is... I mean, this is a team that didn't play at all. Coming in from the Open Qualifiers, didn't even manage to play a single game because it's a new lineup, a new roster on the side of POB. So this is officially the first tournament showing for this circuit. So there's a lot of question as to what POB can provide coming to this competition. A lot of people think that they are going to do well. Some of them think that it's going to be a pleasant surprise coming as well. For Team Casual, looks like they are probably going to want to do their best because Man, there's a lot of doubts in mind right here. They also just had a bit of a roster change, I think, about 2 weeks ago. La La Land didn't manage to make it for this open final, so he is not going to be playing on a set of Team Casual. And filling in the shoes is going to be Mr. Deja Vu. So far, it looks like they do have a bit of advantage in the form of the Johanna as well as Liore clearing up the lanes quickly. But I kind of like how POB is managing the situation with a very focused, roam-centric kind of a squad that's going on in between the top and mid lane. Muradin with the stumble, not connecting. Nice shield glare. Deter further aggression, jumping the bottom lane up against Shin. Shin should have the advantage with the Drain Hope connecting on that side. Mid lane looks to be very much same old rotation business going on. Jaina does have the ability to clear the waves very quickly along with his lightning shield coming on Rhaegar. So that's really, really nice to see. Meanwhile, if you look at the talent options right now, we do have Seasoned Marksman as well as Searing Arrows coming to play. And for Jaina, it looks like it's going to be Lingering Chill. So very standard along with Arcane Intellect. That's a little bit of a different pickup here. Most teams will go for Conjurer's Pursuit right off the first level, but I think that going for Lingering Chill is still okay. Deep Chill has been changed for a really long time already, so you can see the Lingering Chill is so far the undisputed go-to talent. Lightning Shield build coming out from Rhaegar, the Stormcaller, and Electric Charge. Very, very standard stuff. On the side of the Sonya, though, we do have Shot of Fury instead of War Paint. So not going to have the extra right-click heal, which kind of works out really well with Focus Attack. But we are going to see that extra Burst of Fury that's going to help with a lot of mana issues going in. Fury issues, if you will. And on the side of Muradin, looks like it's a standard Reverberation into a Thunderbird. And for Lyric on the side of Team Casual, looks like it's going to be reanimation into Heart and Bones once again. Very standard build right there. Power hungry. Bit of a tap in the regeneration globes. I don't like this one. Personally, still think the Astral Presence, although it has been nerfed, would be able to provide at least some of a mana sustain. Post level 10, it's going to be very effective. You don't want to tap well, especially when those front lines go down. You want to have the ability to sustain through most fights. Going for Triumvirate, yes, this is the new As of Johan. A lot of teams like to pick this one out, so that's pretty okay. Going for Loss of Hope instead of the standard triple W build going in here. Knights takes Pawn as well as the Eternal Retaliation, which is what I think is a lot more of a valuable pick going in, because it's Tomb of the Spider Queen. You have a lot of good rotation, but going for Loss of Hope, at least you have a bit of extra heal there. So that's going to help Zan a little bit. Meanwhile, Javi's taking a lot of damage in the top lane, have to pull back out. See the Marksman as well as Power Throw, very standard Felstead, going to Scouting Drone with Rampant Grove on the side of the blue team. Nothing too surprising coming in out. We do have better momentum as well as Icelands, indicative of a Icy Veins build coming for Jaina. Could be possible. Could be possible to see that. There's also that Cleanse on Rhaegar, very much needed versus healing and a Piercing Bolt. So very much a standard build going to play. All right. And so far, we have a bit of a stun in the bottom lane. The first set of Web Weaver you unleash, you really want to make sure that the front structures go down. Unfortunately here, we only have the mid lane addressed. Top lane looks to be pretty much okay. Still in favor for TC. I kind of rule it a very favorable push. Or rather, defense on the side of TC, so they did handle up the first wave of Web Weavers really well. Not much of an advantage going out here for POB. They didn't achieve much, only the mid lane structures going down for the front part. So they need to do a lot more work with the next set of Web Weaver. That has to be very, very much important for them. Still level 7 just hit here by Team Casual. And we do have Ghastly Reach, Zay's Vengeance, which is like the Arcane Up step up, which is important. There's also the better momentum. I saw a Secret Weapon with Clans in play as well. Secret Weapon, I like that pickup a lot. I think that works out pretty well with the Hammer Rank build. So that's very standard Felstad build, nothing too surprising as well. Going for better momentum instead of Conviction. Not going for Eternal Retaliation, going for better momentum instead. I think it's okay. This actually reduces abilities cooldown of every single foam. So it's not just basic abilities we're talking about. It also reduces the cooldown of Blizzard Shield. So there's some form of value that that is to be redeemed from that pickup. So the first set of Web Weaver for the red team is going to come out right here. Team Casual is going to want to achieve a lot more than just the front line structures going down. If you look at Li Ming's play this entire game, it hasn't really been sieging up on those structures, and I think it's a bit of a waste. Could be because of the mana issues that she's been having these days. But you really just want to keep throwing out those Arcane Ops in those structures faces because she does so much of a good job right there. Jarvis with the box out in the mid lane. Looks like the Web Weaver is probably going to go down without much of a fight here. Very, very bad set of results here in the mid lane. Top lane, we do have the Felset doing some of the damage against those structures. But Kevin's going to swing by, takes a bit of a damage from the Kamehameha, as I quote, from that Web Weaver, but not going to get anything more than that. Bottom lane also going to have a Web Weaver pushing out here, but Shin's doing whatever he can with the Skeleton Swing. Not really sure or convinced of the amount of push potential because blue team and POB, they're really punishing this lack of level 10 inside of TC. And Team Casual, because they turned in just a second too early, they didn't have level 10, now they finally do. They may want to fight here, but Sheen with the Wraith Walk, a little bit of trouble. There goes the slow coming from the Elgraf Totem, and Sheen is going to go down. Pretty easy kill. The first blood will go to Power of Belief in this game. TC in a pretty challenging spot. So they lose one kill, but they're finally able to address some of those frontline structures on the top lane. It's still not so bad. They still have some form of consolation right there. The mid lane also did go down at the end. So it's all still pretty fine. I would say out of 3 lanes, getting 2 lanes front structures pushed out is a lot more successful than whatever POB was trying to pull off with a very early set of Web Weavers. Level 11, both sides just got hit. Right now seems to be very even position for both teams. Another set of blue Web Weavers coming out right here for Power of Belief. And this is the one you want to go ham with the fort. You want to make sure to take down the fort regardless. For that to work, they just got to make sure that they push. They're already level 10, 11 if you will. Shin, oh there we go. You just heard Ruff with the Berserker getting popped out there. Zan with the Iron Skin getting popped out as well. Shin just pulling back, using one Entomb. Entomb is down. That's about it. Also going to see the Arcane up as well as the Magic Missiles going out against Kevin. Kevin's going to take a bit of a beating, but instantly heals back up to full HP. Top lane Web Weaver is probably going to get a bit of a free push. All POB needs to do is just keep up the aggression in mid lane. I think they're able to do just that. Felset's at the bottom lane with a bit of a solo bottom lane defense. If he can't clean this one up, TC still is in the business. But we're going to see a lot of damage going out already against Shin, as well as Ring of Frost connecting on nobody, but some form of slow on the outer rim area as well. Shin pulling back once again. The Lunar Flare now connecting Zen with the flank. Still no Felstead yet, but we see a lot of Arcane Ops connecting, and that's a lot of damage against Jarvis. So the mid Web Weaver will fill in its mission to take off the fort. Bottom Web Weaver is also gone, but top Web Weaver doing a lot of work here. Maybe TC's able to pick this one up. Nope, they're not able to defend this successfully, so POB is able to pick up the fort coming up from the blue team. And Team Casual, again, a little bit slow on the rotation side. I would say that they did whatever they can, but like I mentioned before, it's all about soaking up the time in the mid lane because that fort, it's not going down. They know that for sure. All you need to do is just buy enough time, create enough space for the Web Weaver in the top lane to do whatever he can. And they did just that. Jumping now in a lot of trouble. A lot of nice bursts coming out. Even the use of the Disintegrate Rays coming out in play. Mr. Deja Vu just taking a bit of a damage, pulling back off a nice barrel roll. Jumping again with the Whirlwind going in. Shin taking a lot of damage, but a nice Mighty Gus able to force about a bit of a disengage. Switching out. They trade Sonya for Leoric, and Jarvis pulls back out once again. Some slow against Kevin. Kevin in a really bad spot. Maki, unfortunately, not able to land that entangling route. Would have been a fantastic play on his part. Jarvis once again with yet another bunch of stunts going on. They have enough jams here. Deja Vu has got 32. Crusade does not have the space to go in. Did not want to overextend. Just wanted to threaten the, say, just canceling, disrupting the channeling there. But not able to do anything more than that. So the set of Web Weavers will still go through. And TC here, they really want to make sure that they get at least one fort. It's going to be awesome if they can get 2. So it's going to be up to the fact if they can pick off someone. Shin taking a bit of a damage there. Nice Mighty Cast once again. Kevin taking a lot of damage. Will go down. Shin pulls back once again. Jarvis is going to be in the area as well, jumping with a bit of a flank, but not in the nick of time. They have 1 man down on the side of POB. So Team Casual is going to have a lot of space here for this push. Very nicely timed. Great play there by Mr. Deja Vu. Fantastic Mighty Gus. They will lose the healing wall on the side of POB in the bottom lane at least. Sonya with a bit of a solo mid lane defense. Should be able to buy enough time. The top lane is going to be where the bonus is going to be at. So we will see what Team Casual wants to do right here. They have to rotate to the top lane, join up with this set of Web Weaver as soon as possible. don't think they're able to achieve the bonus here. Sheen's already in vicinity. Is he able to box out Kevin and Crusade? Don't think so. So the Web Weaver will take the fall. Middling Web Weaver's already gone. Bit of a waste there. They only pick up 1-4. So this, at best, only ties up TC with POB. Doesn't give them the edge, but you see just Sonya going in. Another Mighty Gus coming out. Disintegrate also being used by Leeming. Nothing more than that. We also won't see POB. A bit of rotation going on. A lot of burst damage coming out from the Arcane up. Reminds me of a very good phrase I used to use, the boom baby effect. You could see that actually hurts a lot, team. That actually hurts a lot. So if Arcane Ops does continue to connect, that is the kind of impact you'll see. 50,000 damage coming up from Leeming. She's been doing a lot of work. Unfortunately, not a lot of kills, though. Only 2 kills for the team. And in the form of 1 Tarunda as well as Sonya, that's about it. I don't think she's got either of those kills. Nope. Unfortunately, I'm not able to bring you that statistic. But so far, it looks to be a very close set of games here, man. I promise you it'll be close. There we go. The chain stun going up against Lyric. Nice cleanse coming out just in the nick of time. Entomb not used just yet. There we go. The Entomb against the Tarunda. And we're also seeing Ring of Frost connecting in the backline, but he may not be enough. Tranquility healing up the whatever that's left on the side of Team Casual. They also burst down the Tarunda. That's gone already. Zazen still full HP behind with the magic missiles connecting. Arcane up also being thrown out left, right, center. A lot of damage against POB. POB forced to pull back. And that fight was beautifully executed. A fantastic Entomb just nicely to materialize up the kill against the Tarunda. Great plays there by TC. Could have been a lot better. Could have been a lot better if Zasan had the ability to burst down one separate target on his site. Namely just that Jaina, because she was in a pretty precarious position. Jumping once again going in. Does have the Mystical Spear upgrade already, so that's always going to pull a level 13. And they managed to turn in a little bit, but they still have got 59. 40 of those gems going to be on Jarvis, by the way. So you want to pay attention to Jarvis and his positioning. Very important to know that Muradin sometimes always gets out of position. You know, the Dwarf Toss is what you really want to use to stay safe. You don't want to Dwarf Toss into engagements, but sometimes that also creates the best window of opportunity. So I would say that it's going to be very situation-based. Skeletal Swing being used there very easily, clearing up. Once again, that's the advantage that Team Casual has in this draft, is that they are able to push the lanes a lot easier because they can clear the minions very quickly. On the side here for POV, they do have the superior engagements. If you look at Rhaegar, he does have an ancestral killing, so that they will have better sustain. Jarvis is getting healed back up to full HP. Also going to see the Ring of Frost connecting the backline, and Sheen will take the fall. And Tomb did come out, but the very lethal effect. Crusade jumps on with a little bit of the Pharaoh launch there. It's a bit of an added effect coming out quickly from his Pharaoh Spirit. So that's very, very effective. Meanwhile, we got the top Web Weaver gone already. And TC, once again, they really want to achieve a good fight here before they push in. Jumping, playing aggressively, boxing out Zazen. Zazen does not have the space to do damage to those frontline structures with the Web Weaver. It's going to be up to the bottom Web Weaver, and I think it is 100% wasted attempt here for a push. So this worked out 100% in the favor for POB. Like, hands down, that has to be one of the best defense mechanic around. And that's only because Sheen took the fall in the top lane. Not entirely his fault. They're up against a sustained comp. They got to realize this, but that Ancestral is always going to hit. And that Ancestral just needs to connect before it becomes a nightmare. There we go. Shin again getting bursted down by that Sonya there. And we got Jumming. Shin providing a lot of vision here. They're buying a lot of time on the side of Team Casual. Deja Vu with a very good hammer coming out. Jarvis with 46 getting denied by the Shield Glare. That's what you need to do. You need to do what you need to do. And there we go. Yet another Disintegrate coming out. Jarvis is just on the borderline of giving up right now. Lunar Flare not connecting. Would have been a pickup regardless if it did connect. Shin now coming back out, getting stunned, in a lot of trouble. Going to play very safe. Lyric's very squishy in this meta. Going to have to be very careful. Not enough of a heal there. Tranquility getting popped. But they don't want to pick a fight. They want to pick a fight. They got to make up their mind right there. Tranquility being used up against Mighty Gus just says nothing about the fight there. They don't want to go in. They want to go in. You know, it's really, really confusing. Zen now pulling back. Don't think it's got a blessed shield. Blessed shield, no. So Jarvis turns in enough, and they have enough for a bit of a push, maybe. But TC, this is the team that's currently ahead. If they lose the fort in the mid lane and bottom lane, it probably will be able to catch up for POB as well as a level lead for them. All they need is just one good engagement. Pick up the Lyric first once again. On the side of TC, you know you're up against a sustained comp. You're going to have to burst. And look at that arcane up. That kind of burst against Jaina. That's the kind of work Zasan has to do. A lot of burst damage going on again, but Shin taking out way too much damage. No tranquility. They cannot take this fight. They have to pull back. They lose Shin. They already don't have the Lyric to work with. The Fort's probably going to take the fall here. That means level 18 for POB. And already having the lead, they're going to want to continue to push this mid lane because the top and bottom will automatically push out, given the fact that most of the members on TC is going to be able to defend his mid lane here, or 100% focus on defending his mid lane. Yet another Ring of Frost connecting. Only a Leeming, not enough of a space there for the rest of POB to jump back in into the back line. But Leeming is going to be okay. She still has got the teleport, so I'm not too worried about it. Also looking at her talent options, I'm expecting it to be Diamond Shield. It has to be Diamond Shield. No, it's not Diamond Shield. It's just Arcane Orbit. So this is going to have a little bit extra range on that skill. Probably the main reason why Zasan is doing so much more work, but I gotta be very careful because it does not have increased HP with that teleport. And hold that thought, Luna Flare badly timed. Could have been a lot better. If it did connect there, maybe they can go in for the kill, but we'll have to see what kind of a space is being created, as well as Jaina's skill cooldown, which I think she already used up the Blizzard. So regardless, that would have not meant anything. Half a level lead for POB right now. Team Casual still with a bit of a rotation now. Very close game. Very close set of games that's going to unfold. And this is just the first set of games, guys. Into the Singapore Open Finals. We're into you could say, the determination shown by both teams and all other teams to just represent Singapore. It's astounding. Top prize also has got 2.5 thousand Singapore dollars that's on the line. So the qualified teams also get a bit of walk home with that amount of prize money, as well as peripheral prizes coming out from Razer, proud sponsors of the Spring Championship. All right, so it's a boss attempt successfully going through here for POB. TC could have just gone in. They don't have level 20 on both sides. Would have been an even fight regardless, but up against a sustained comp, I'm going to be very careful. Plus, they actually got Felstead, so they should have gone in. But it could be a late realization that the boss attempt was underway. That's the main reason why they weren't able to put up a fight back then. Kevin will be able to finish up this channel for this next set of Web Weaver. Top boss is going to go down, but lane has already been pushed out, so it's going to be a pretty easy Web Weaver to push out the top lane. And once again, POB just needs to apply pressure in the mid lane. That's enough. That's enough for TC to work with. POB gets a level 21st sweet spot for them to be in, but they've only got about 30 seconds maximum before Team Casual's going to be able to catch up level 20 with Storm Talent getting picked up. Let's see what it is. I do apologize. Seems like the overlay is kind of broken, but it is going to be Nexus Frenzy for Toronto with a bit of an AA build going in. Searing Attacks as well. Searing Arrow, sorry, with the Huntress Fury. So that is going to help with increased attack speed. That's crazy. You also got Bullet of the Stomp up on Jaina on a very standard non-Icy Veins build, just Ice Block. Going into Northern Exposure, nobody really goes for Numbing Blast these days in SEA. Storm Shield, double Hardened Shield, or Ignore Pain if you will, on that side. Hold that thought, a bit of a fight undergoing here. Already Shin taking a lot of damage. Nice Mighty Gust, puts them back into the cage they belong in once again. Shin goes in, great pickup against Taranda. Yet another Disintegrate. They want to go for more. Arcane Up comes out yet again, and it seems like Leeming is bursting down the entire POB, and it looks like Chumming's all that's left. Not sure he's going to be able to run out. Nope, it is a wasted attempt. None of the keeps going to take the fall here. Top lane's going to be all that's left, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The keep will stand. And it's a 5-man team wipe. You have that kind of a damage potential on Zasan. And the guy has just been performing out of his mind. 122,000 damage. Guys, nobody cares about Diamond Skin these days. It's all about the damage, raking up the damage as Leeming. And Zasan just proved that once again, Leeming is balanced, man. So if you look at his build here, it is the Glass Cannon build with Arcane Orbit and Temporal Flux. So that 60% slow, increased damage, that's exactly what he witnessed there. Maybe it's game, guys. It could be game. Just about 5 seconds before Tyrande respawns, and you have a Leeming that's knocking away with Disintegrate as well as Arcane Ops coming out. Tyrande's back, and Tomb's going to buy some time. 30% on the core. Jaina's not able to do anything there, and it looks like it is going to be game. Team Casual wins their first game up against POB. Cost Limited at the gates. They were two grouped up, but it's still the perfect engagement. We're talking about the combo coming in. We saw that once before the last fight, and that would be the Entomb into a really, really good Mighty Gus. They just pulled it off flawlessly. Nobody cared about the Ring of Frost because they knew they had sustained with Tranquility, and they did just that. This is just Sonya not performing because of the fact that you have got the Entomb, Mighty Gus, and a lot of zoning measures. That's 60% slow, coming up from Temporal Flux, coming up from the Disintegrate. That's, at the end of the day, what's stopping her from doing those damage against the front line. As long as Lyric and Jonah stays alive, the back line's going to be okay. Felstad's going to have all the space to do the damage. But look at that 122,000 damage. Once again, guys, Leeming could be banned out next. I don't know, man, but looks like this is just really convincing. And if I am on a set of Power of Belief, I am not going to want to play against Leeming again. I don't think that Jaina or Kel'Thas has the ability to burst out that level of damage in the hands of Zasan. But we're talking about 4 kills on that hero, no devs, and a really convincing amount of hero damage. That's a lot of work that she has done in this game. In fact, half of the team's kills goes to Zasan. He is my personal MVP for this game. So we're going for a very short break, and we'll be back with game number 2 real soon. This is Babel. Hope you guys enjoyed this custom coverage brought to you by AsiaSoft. And just thank you for tuning in here today. We'll be back shortly with game 2 between Power of Belief as well as Team Casual. So sit tight, stay tuned, and don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. Deja Vu with a flank on top, chipping out one by one. Zan going in, a lot of damage already coming from Kevin. Kel'Thas going to take the fall first. That's a painful one to lose, but Jarvis now taking a lot of beating. Will also get exploded there. ETC's gone, a lot of beef on the house. We also get Maki running back in once again. Yet another Condemn coming into play, and Kerrigan will go down. Jerming holding out the fray with a nice drain over. Crusade's going to draw first. Deja Vu goes in, gives chase against Jerming. Not able to pick up that one. Great heals coming from Uther. He's going to be okay. This is not going to be enough.